Hi, everybody, and welcome to Delphos here at Stadium Park to preview the 2013 Delphos St. John's Blue Jays. Andy Lynch and Chris Parks with you on this Audubon Bank Pigskin preview. Todd Schulte, the head coach, and Spencer Ginter down there on the far end of the set here. We'll kick things off. Todd, let's start first with you. Reflect a little bit on 2012. 8-5 a season ago, made it all the way to the third round of the playoffs. Would you deem last year a pretty good season in your eyes?
I think we had a great season. It was just a matter of we seemed to get a little bit better as we went along each game, and it's kind of what we ask our kids as a goal, that we're better in week 3 than we were in week 2 and vice versa week 1. So I thought we got better as the year went on. And I thought some kids stepped into some places where we had some big shoes to fill, and I thought they handled their jobs well, and we had a nice run into the playoffs there, and we're regional finalists, so we were real close to that game and returning into the state semifinals. But I thought we had a nice year last year, and going through our league and our non-league schedules, there's going to be some years we're not going to win them all, and we feel if we're competitive and get through our league, the goal is we'd like to win our league every year, and we weren't able to do that last year. But to get through that league and get ourselves in the playoffs, we think we're going to be competitive because we've seen some pretty good opponents at that point.
Coach, one of your strengths coming back has to be in the backfield. Tyler Jettinghoff, more than 1,400 yards in the regular season alone, 16 touchdowns. How has he progressed in the offseason and here as we start two-a-days?
Tyler, had a lot of yards last year and a lot of touches for us, and he works really hard in the offseason to get himself prepared for what's ahead of him this season, and he's had a great year in the weight room. We know that coming back, everybody's going to probably pencil to see find out where exactly he's at and pencil him in on every one of their schemes to make sure that somebody's getting a hat on him. And it's nice that we also have Luke Mclennan coming back in the backfield as our fullback. And as much as we run the option, that's a key position for us. And both those guys are strong kids. They're hard-nosed kids, and they run well. If they can get into space, we feel that they can break some big plays for us. So with both those guys in the backfield, and they've worked really hard to put themselves in a position this year to, knock on wood, stay healthy, and have a great year out of the backfield for both of them.
Certainly. Spencer, one of the guys that will be blocking for those running backs coming out of the backfield. What's the state of the offensive and defensive lines? Do you think that'll be a strength for this year's team?
I think this year we'll definitely have a bigger strength for the offensive line because I feel like we have a few bigger guys than last year, so hopefully, yeah.
A little more size up there, that always helps.
Definitely. Spencer, how have you approached coming into your senior season? Just how does it feel different now that you're one of the old guys?
I don't know, just more excited, I guess. Can't wait for the season to start.
Todd, you guys have a pretty tough start to your season. Elida, then LCC to kick off 2 really good tests for your team as you get ready to embark in 2013 here.
Yeah, and that's a little switch up for us. We've always had LCC first week for a long time now, and with the scheduling, it's nice to get Elida on our schedule and move LCC to week 2. So yeah, there's no doubt. We know right away coming out of the gates, it's we're going to have to be ready to play. And with those 2 non-league, with Elida, who's had great success over the last few years, and LCC, their success. So we know we're going to be tested right away, and it's going to fit right into our league schedule. I mean, once we get out of our 2 non-league, it's not like it's going to get any easier. So we understand that, and I think our kids will be prepared, and I think our kids understand the test that's coming. And these kids have been in our program long enough to understand what our schedule always looks like, and I think we'll be mentally and physically ready to go for those 2 games.
Coach, now in Division 7, how does that change the landscape for you guys?
Well, I don't know if I was a huge proponent for adding another division. I don't know if it'll water some things down, but there's certainly there might be a case for that. But there's a few teams that are going to stay in 6, and there's a lot of us that are going to slide down into 7. That if you kind of look at the names and the teams that were appearing in the playoffs. A handful of those slid right down into 7. So, if tradition has the ways that have been going, we'll probably see a lot of those teams back in the playoffs. And then, there's a few of them that are going to stay in 6. And, I think they'll probably be successful Division 6 as well.
Spencer, you guys are starting 2 days here. You practice in the morning, practice again here in the afternoon. What's the routine like for you throughout the day, knowing you have football in the morning and then back again in the afternoon? What's a typical day like for you?
Wake up, go to practice, go home, lay around. That's pretty much it.
Practice, go, maybe take a nap, grab some food, and just come back, and knowing that you pretty much have football from here on out.
Yeah.
And no one's at the Delphos pool, I noticed. We came in, there were about 5 people ready because the football guys have to get up here for practice. Coach, you like that split session, and what are the benefits that you see out of that?
We have always went with the split session. I just feel that afternoon practice, you're probably a little bit fresher. It gives the kids a chance to get away from the locker room, go home, get their feet up if they get an opportunity, and just rest a little bit and kind of, not only physically but refresh the mind as well, because when they come back out for the evening practice, we're going to expect them to be on top of their game. So we've always went with the split just because of that idea that hopefully we can get them a little more mentally and physically ready to go for the second practice.
We know what to expect in the backfield with Tyler Jenninghoff and company back there. What can we expect at the quarterback position this year? Who is, I guess, maybe the leading candidate for that this season?
Well, I wish I could give you a leading candidate, but as it's early in two-a-days, so through the summer in our 7-on-7s, our team camp, 2 guys have done most of the work there, and that's Nick Martz, he'll be a junior coming back and played quarterback for us at the JV level last year, and Evan Hayes, who was a starting defensive back, played some wide receiver for us as a sophomore last year. Evan's just one of those guys that he knows the game. He's got a pretty good head on his shoulders and throws the ball well. It's just going to be a matter of seeing how the two-a-days go and get into scrimmages, and hopefully come week 1 I can give you a better answer. If not, I guess we might be in trouble. Yeah. So hopefully we're going to find out here real soon.
This is the first quarter of our preview with the Delphos St. John's Blue Jays. A couple more players will stop by next. It's all brought to you by Autoville Bank here on WOSN.
Welcome back to Delphos here. Andy Lynch and Chris Parks with you on this Autoville Bank Pigskin preview with the Delphos St. John's Blue Jays, 8-5 a season ago. 2 players joining us up on the set. The big guy, the big running back, Tyler Jenninghoff, sitting next to Andy, and then Luke Mclennan down there on the other end of the set. Tyler, let's start first off with you. A great junior season, over 1,400 yards, did great in the playoffs as well, too. What did you work on in the offseason to even get better here for your senior year?
Really hitting the weight room. Just coach has got us a great program and just making every day count.
Tyler, having a guy like Luke in front of you, how much does that help open up the holes? And then the consistency you guys have felt with each other, the past few years.
Oh, great. We're good friends, and then he's a real quick guy, so I can just lean off his blocks, and then he's really what boosts me through it.
Luke, do you get many carries throughout the season with him? I mean, Tyler gets most of the workload, but does Coach slip you in a play or two?
I mean, maybe a few here and there, but I mean, I'm pretty happy with all the carries I get, though.
Okay.
Luke, how different is it having a new quarterback, Evan Hayes breaking in, also another junior quarterback? How much does that affect the offense getting your system down here in the early going?
I mean, he's a pretty good athlete, and he knows what he's doing, too, because we have great coaches, and I think he'll still be pretty good at the option.
Do you guys, Tyler, you think you'll be more run-oriented? We saw a lot more runs last year than passing. Years past, there's been a little bit more passing, but still a run-dominant team, you think, this season?
Yeah, I think so. I think we'll have more of a passing this year, too, just because they have so much focus on our run, since we got a lot in the backfield and a big line. But I think with our new quarterback, we'll do a little bit more passing.
Tyler, a chance to go both ways for both you and Luke this year. How are you adjusting to that, and maybe our drill's a little bit different here in the early going?
Yeah, we work a little bit harder. Not much breaks in practice, so we're getting a little more conditioning going, so we can go both ways.
I mean, obviously we want to win a MAC championship.
Yeah, certainly.
But our goal is just to win every game and obviously make playoffs and see how far we get, and hopefully a state championship too.
Okay.
Luke, tell us about this senior class. What kind of group are you? Laid back, like to have fun? What kind of group would you say?
We have a lot of fun kids on here that just like to goof around all the time, so it's never a dull moment on the field or in the locker room.
Or on the practice field?
Yeah.
Coach Schulte kind of toned that down a little?
Yeah.
Just a little.
Tyler, a game you're looking forward to most this season. If you could pick one out of the 10 you have in the regular season, what's the one that you're really amped up for?
The Marion local game. They got us last year, and then I think we can get in this year, and then they're leading for the MAC, so we'd like to take them down.
Of course, they won a state title last year in Division 6. So.
And both teams down to Division 7. Tyler, that's quite a rivalry. I mean, it's not a proximity rivalry, but every game against Marion seems to be a good one between you guys.
Yeah, they always give us a good run, and yeah, it is a great rivalry. And we got them 2 years ago, and now they got us back, so I think it's our turn this year.
All right, lots going on for the blue and gold here in Delphos St. John's. We'll chat with 2 more players when we come back here on this Autoville Bank Pigskin Preview on WOSN.
Back here with Delphos St. John's. Andy, their schedule really tough to begin. I took a look at your sheet there. Elida, LCC,
yes, sir.
Coldwater, and St. Henry are their first 4 games. It's going to be a tough road for the St. John's Blue Jays, but always high expectations here. 2 more players joining us on the set. We got Cody Lozier sitting next to Andy, and also Nathan Schrader down there. Cody, let's start first off with you here. It's a little bit cooler out here. It kind of feels a little bit like fall today, but I'm sure you guys are anxious to get the pads on and kind of get things going here and rolling in 2013.
Oh, yep, we're ready to go. I mean, it's been last year was a long, tough season, but we're ready to start things up again and get the pads on.
Get going.
More than 80 tackles in the regular season last year for you, Cody. What are some of the things that you feel the defense really learned as you progressed week in and week out?
Well, we had goals set. Like every game we'd have, like, our coach would tell us, don't miss any tackles. Like every week we'd limit it down, like don't miss 2 or more tackles a game, and then eventually we said no missed tackles every game, and we just kept making goals for our defense and stuff.
Nathan, talk a little bit about the state of the offensive and defensive lines this year. Do you think it'll be a real strength for you guys going into the season?
Yeah, definitely. Our offensive line has definitely grown a little bit from last year, I think, and I think that size will definitely help us out for the running backs that we have coming back.
Nathan, obviously, years of success here at Delphos St. John's. Only 3 years since 1997 did you guys not make the playoffs. What's it mean to be a senior in this program this year? And you're now one of the leaders on this team.
It definitely means a lot that we were able to compete with the name Delphos St. John's in the MAC tournament.
Cody, how many numbers do you guys have? How many players out for camp this year and things of that nature?
I mean, we got quite a lot. Like a lot of younger kids coming up in camp and stuff, and we only have 11 seniors this year for our grade, but not very big this year. But we're going to work with the numbers we have right now. But
okay, is there a game that sticks out as a big rivalry game for you guys? I mean, every week, like Chris mentioned at the beginning of the segment, it's a big game. But
yeah.
Is there one, or are you just kind of focused on week 1 in Elida?
Probably definitely Marion local.
Okay.
Just I kind of want some revenge from
them.
last year. Yep.
Another vote for Marion local then. You guys always play them tough. Outside of Marion local, was there another MAC rivalry, Nathan? Or you guys just you guys circle them like, nope, we got the same colors. We play good all the time. It's always a good game. I mean,
it's all about the colors.
Yeah, we kind of just circle them, but with the other teams in the back, we just kind of play them week by week.
Mm-hmm. Nathan, as you go through 2-a-days, is there something you're looking forward to at this point? Is it the first scrimmage? Is it just getting through all of them? What are some of the highlights?
Definitely starting to put the pads on.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
It's coming soon.
It certainly is. Cody, who do you guys scrimmage coming up here in a couple weeks? Any idea?
Van Buren, I'm pretty sure.
Got Van Buren
Yeah.
on the schedule slate. I'm sure one more, too. Is it just kind of hard to believe that it's sinking in now? You guys are starting football and you start school in a couple
Yeah,
weeks?
it's not looking forward to school, that's for sure. But yeah, season's coming up pretty quick. It came up on us pretty fast, and ready for it though.
We won't tell your teachers.
We'll have lots with the Delphos St. John's Blue Jays, including that opener on WOSN against Elida, Week 2 against LCC, another TV 44 game, and a few more throughout the season. I want to thank Coach Schulte and all the guys for stopping by on this Autoville Bank Pigskin preview in Delphos St. John's with the Blue Jays.